Hello and welcome back to your channel name, where we bring you the latest international news that matters. I'm your name, and today we have some major stories from around the world. From Ukraine's latest ceasefire deal to the shocking arrest of former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte and the US pulling out of a key climate compensation fund, there's a lot to unpack. So make sure to watch till the end and let's dive in. In a surprising turn of events, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has agreed to a US-proposed 30-day ceasefire with Russia. This comes after intense behind-the-scenes discussions between US and Ukrainian officials in Saudi Arabia. Now here's why this is a big deal. The war between Russia and Ukraine has been going on for over 3 years, causing massive destruction and displacing millions of people. While many previous ceasefires have failed, this time the US is playing a key role, even resuming defense aid to Ukraine, which had been paused recently. However, there's one catch: Russia still hasn't officially agreed to this ceasefire. Without their commitment, this peace deal might not last. Will this be the first step towards ending the war or just another temporary pause in the fighting? Let us know what you think in the comments. This next story is sending shockwaves through Southeast Asia. Former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte has been arrested at Manila Airport under a warrant issued by the International Criminal Court, ICC. For those who don't know, Duterte was the controversial leader behind the infamous war on drugs, which led to thousands of extrajudicial killings between 2016 and 2022. The ICC has been investigating these killings for over a decade, and now they've finally moved in to take action. But here's the twist: the Philippines isn't even part of the ICC anymore after Duterte himself withdrew from it in 2019. His lawyers are already fighting the arrest, saying the court has no jurisdiction. The big question is, will Duterte actually stand trial in The Hague, or will his allies in the Philippines find a way to stop it? In another big move, the US government under President Donald Trump has withdrawn from the Loss and Damage Fund, an international climate compensation initiative. Now, what is this fund and why does it matter? The Loss and Damage Fund was created to help poorer nations deal with the impacts of climate change, things like rising sea levels, stronger hurricanes, and extreme droughts. The US was one of the biggest financial contributors, so pulling out of the deal is a massive setback for global climate efforts. Critics say this decision shows that the US isn't serious about climate justice, but Trump's administration argues that American taxpayers shouldn't be responsible for other countries' climate problems. Do you agree or disagree with this move? Tell us in the comments. Next up, pro-democracy activist and former media mogul Jimmy Lai is once again in the headlines. His son, Sebastian Lai, is now directly appealing to President Trump to pressure China into releasing his father from prison. Jimmy Lai was the founder of Apple Daily, a pro-democracy newspaper in Hong Kong. In 2020, after China imposed its controversial national security law, Lai was arrested and sentenced to years in solitary confinement. Human rights groups worldwide are calling his imprisonment a violation of free speech. Will international pressure be enough to secure his release, or will China ignore global criticism like it has in the past? Lastly, in the United States, a New York judge has blocked the deportation of Mahmoud Khalil, a pro-Palestinian activist and US permanent resident. Khalil was detained by ICE following President Trump's executive order targeting pro-Palestinian activists on university campuses. However, civil rights groups argued that this was a violation of free speech, leading the judge to temporarily halt his deportation. With tensions over the Israel-Palestine conflict rising globally, this case could set a major precedent for political activism in America. Do you think deporting activists is justified, or is this a dangerous step towards limiting free speech? And that wraps up today's top international news stories. What are your thoughts on these events? Will Ukraine's ceasefire hold? Should Duterte be tried at the ICC? And how do you feel about the United States pulling out of the climate fund? Drop your opinions in the comments below. I read every single one. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for daily updates on world news. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a story. I'm your name, and I'll see you next time on your channel name. Stay informed, stay curious, and have a great day. Visual end screen, subscribe button, and video suggestions.